Okay, good morning and welcome to the September 16th, 2025 Hempstead Town Board meeting. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Supervisor Ferretti.
Here.
Councilman Dunn.
Here.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Here.
Councilman Muscarella.
Here.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Here.
Councilman Schneider.
Here.
Deputy Supervisor Dorothy Gooseby, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Hand over heart. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. If you could please remain standing as we take a moment of silence in recognition of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Thank you. Please be seated. Based upon Councilwoman Miller's and Councilwoman Ryder's request for item number 1 to be included on today's agenda, and as the first item, I will now turn over the meeting to Deputy Supervisor Dorothy Gooseby and recuse myself from all debate and discussion and will not take a vote.
Good morning. Madam Clerk, please call the first item.
Our number 1 resolution is the appointment of John R. Ferretti as Supervisor of the Town of Hempstead.
Okay, this is not, all right. Got you, Councilwoman. Would you please, does any board member wish to be heard on this item?
I would, Deputy Supervisor, please. I'd like to say that I requested the board to consider this item at today's meeting and for it to be the first item on the agenda. And I hope the board adopts this item today so John Ferretti can continue the good work he is doing for our town. It is important to realize that what we are doing here is not necessary, as the board's actions on August 5th, 2025 followed the law. However, for selfish political reasons and a baseless lawsuit was brought without regard for how much it will cost taxpayers. We will not let our residents suffer financially to perpetuate someone's political agenda. That's why I support taking this action openly and transparently to make clear that our supervisor has been properly appointed. I believe we should adopt this motion to end a frivolous lawsuit.
Thank you. Councilwoman, does any other member of the board wish to be heard? Is there anyone here at Town Hall who wish to speak on the item? One at a time, please. Okay. Who's coming up? Do you get them? Okay, let me get them. All right, the first person that we have here is Chris Howard.
All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
As an avid follower of politics for roughly 25 years now.
Your address, please?
Oh, sorry, 302 Fendale Street, Franklin Square, New York. What Mr. Clavin did by appointing John Ferretti wasn't uncommon. Now, the cry from one side of the aisle of it being unfair is solely that, a cry. Just because you don't like it doesn't make it illegal. Now, if you want the luxury of appointment power, you must win an election. Now, I just want to touch on John Ferretti here. He truly stands out, not just as a friend or a colleague, but an all-around great guy. Now, we all know people who say the right things and who show up when it's convenient, but John's a guy who shows up even when it's hard. He's the kind of person you can count on without a second thought. Whether you need help navigating within the town, advice on a tough decision, or just someone to grab a coffee with, John's there, no questions asked. What makes John special isn't just what he does, it's how he does it. He brings a quiet confidence, a good sense of humor, and generosity that isn't flashy. It's just who he is. He listens more than he talks, he acts more than he brags, and he lifts up the people around him without needing recognition. And let's be honest, he's the kind of guy who makes you want to be better. Better at your work, better to your friends, and better to your community. In closing, John Ferretti is here not because he asked for the spotlight, but because he earned it. Just being a genuinely good human being, we're lucky to have him leading us in the role of Town of Hempstead Supervisor. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Daniel Eben Offenheimer.
Good morning, Dan Oppenheimer, 23 Bedell Avenue, Hempstead, New York. Notwithstanding your initial comment there, which is nonsensical to me, if you vote to reappoint today, it is an admission that the first appointment was improper and invalid. You will still face a legal challenge from Marine combat veteran, former NYPD officer and prosecutor Joe Schnablo. If you don't vote to reappoint today, you will also still face a legal challenge from Marine combat veteran, NYPD officer, prosecutor Joe Schnablo. And if John Ferretti is so special, let him prove it in the context of a free and fair election. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Kimberly Kane. Kimberly Kane. Please give your name and address.
Good morning. My name is Kimberly Humer Kane. I'm a fourth-generation resident of New Hyde Park. I am somewhat familiar with government policy, and I do believe that the board acted according to law in their appointment of John Ferretti. I've realized there's been a frivolous lawsuit brought against the town in which I reside, and as a taxpayer, I resent my tax dollars being used for such a frivolous lawsuit. And I'm happy to see the board is addressing this issue today to put this to rest and put it to bed and save dollars of all taxpayers of the town of Hempstead. I'd like to also say I'm aware, as everyone else is, that John Ferretti never once voted to raise taxes, not once. He was author of several laws that were passed for the protection and safety of those residents of the town. And I would like to see him reappointed today. Thank you.
Okay. Pearl Jacobs. Ms. Pearl Jacobs. Your name and address, please.
Pearl Jacobs, Uniondale. Trying to fix your mic here so it can reach me. So here we go. Politics, lies, deceit, and deception. You get it all here at the town of Hempstead. It is shameful that our town of Hempstead is circumventing democracy, taking away town of Hempstead residents' voting rights, violating federal and state laws, while still raising our taxes by 12%, and still redlining communities of color. Your reappointment tactic today does not make your wrong right. Retracting it actually makes it worse, as you are still in violation of state law. Let's end this corruption. Deputy Supervisor Gooseby, do your duty, and step up to assume your role of Town of Hempstead Supervisor. Former Town of Hempstead Supervisor Don Clavin appointed you as Deputy Commissioner. I'm sure that he was confident that you could do the job. Joe, when you are elected and you become Town of Hempstead Supervisor, I know you'll bring integrity back to our town. Thank you.
Okay, Chris Jacobs. Your address and name, please.
Good morning, Chris Jacobs, Unionville, New York. Quoting your resolution, item 1 for the town of Hempstead. Resolution, the appointment of John R. Ferretti as supervisor of the town of Hempstead. Whereas a vacancy in the office of supervisor of the town of Hempstead was created on August 5th, 2025 by the resignation of Donald X. Clavin Jr. And whereas John Ferretti of Levittown, New York is a person qualified to fill said vacancy. Well, I looked up New York State Consolidated Law, Public Office Law, number 42. A vacancy occurring 3 months before the general election in any year in any office is authorized to be filled at a general election, except in the offices of governor or lieutenant governor, shall be filled at the general election held next thereafter, unless otherwise provided by the Constitution or unless previously filled at a special election. So my questions are, question 1, why is the town board disregarding New York State Public Officers Law 42, requiring any vacated elected office within 3 months of the general election, with the exception of the governor and lieutenant governor seats, to be filled via vote at the upcoming general election? Question 2, New York State Public Office Law 42 also states that the preferred method for filling vacated elected offices before appointments is to utilize special elections. Why didn't the town of Hempstead hold a special election back in August when former Supervisor Clavin stepped down? Question 3, according to the verbiage in this particular resolution, it states that Mr. John Ferretti is a person qualified to fill said vacancy. Can the town board elaborate on what are the specific qualifications they speak on this resolution? Question 4, the town of Hempstead already has a deputy supervisor, Ms. Gooseby, to serve as interim supervisor for the town of Hempstead until the seat can be filled lawfully at the upcoming general election as required by the New York State Public Office Law 42. Can the town of Hempstead expound as to why they feel Deputy Supervisor Gooseby is incapable of fulfilling the role of interim supervisor? Can I have my questions answered, please?
Mr. Jacobs.
Yes, sir.
I think you remember, because you come to all the town board meetings, Assemblyman Burrows was here not too long ago at a meeting, and he specifically indicated that he introduced an assembly bill to change the law as it exists, because this town board, under the current state law and town law, has the authority to do what they did. So they did not violate any law with regard to that.
Right here.
And with regard to Deputy Supervisor Gooseby, the fact of the matter is, she very eloquently stated at the last meeting what her duties were and what the succession in the town was. And I let her comments with regard to that speak with yourself, but for herself. But your characterization that the town did anything unlawfully and does not have the right to then or now appoint John Ferretti as supervisor is absolutely incorrect.
Oh. Okay, so maybe I misread the law that's stated on the website, findlaw.com. Maybe one of you guys can Google that, because I know how to read the law. When I did, I had AP literature course in college, so I'm smart too. Anywho, so I just want to say, since the rest of my questions are not being answered, I move this item be tabled and this matter be resolved lawfully at the upcoming general election in November by the will of the residents of the town of Hempstead. Have a great day.
Thank you. The next person is coming up is William Doherty. William Doherty.
My name is Lynn Krug, not Kruger.
See it?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
Please.
All right.
Good morning, Madam Deputy Supervisor and members of the council. William Doherty from the Hempstead side of Floral Park. I rise today to ask that you confirm your resolution dated August 5th and adopt its contents, permanently making Mr. Ferretti the Hempstead Town Supervisor. I think many taxpayers prefer that our money be spent on filling potholes and keeping waterways safe and keeping our parks safe and collecting refuse and operating your town departments rather than litigation. Mr. Ferretti is an able legislator with experience in county government. He has a long record of public service. I think he's more than a good fit, and we appreciate your consideration today. Please adopt the resolution, again, dated August 5. Thank you.
You're welcome. Go on. I can't see it. Make it longer for me. Make it larger. Okay. Lynn Krug from Garden City? Let's see. I think it's you. Okay, thank you.
Yes, I am Lynn Krug, Garden City, New York. Let's face it, the open meetings law requires that all resolutions be posted on the town website 24 hours prior to the meeting. John Ferretti's appointment was not even listed on the hard copy agenda that was made available at the meeting. And Clavin followed in the footsteps of his predecessors by replacing an election with a backroom appointment. So the law was broken, hence the lawsuit. Since announcing his candidacy, John Ferretti has been all over the recent mailings of the town of Hempstead, even before he was appointed as supervisor. Essentially, Mr. Clavin spent tax dollars on Ferretti's campaign, which is not only unethical, but prohibited in New York State. Laws, rules, including the Hatch Act, prohibit spending public funds on political campaigns. Now for the real stuff. Everyone get this flyer. John Ferretti slashed Nassau's taxes by $70 million. Well, I have my tax bill here, okay? I live in Garden City, so I have village taxes I pay, but my Nassau County taxes went up, general purposes, 14.65%. Then the next big one was stormwater resource zone. That went up by 17.86. And then we have the sewer disposal zone. I guess there's a lot of duty we have to flush in Nassau County. That went up 24.25%. This is unbelievable. These are lies. Don't lie to the community. Now, where did Mr. Ferretti then cut my taxes by $70 million? You look at your tax bills. I worked in auditing my whole career at Con Edison. I know a thing or two about budgets and people who are dishonest. And he also gave himself an A+ by adding police to patrols, making Nassau County the safest county. The county does that. Is he sending this out as a candidate, as a supervisor of Hempstead, or is he relying on what happened when he was a legislator? I learned of Mr. Ferretti when they had the capital budget meeting at Nassau County. I was appalled. I walked away. I called him the Republican attack dog. The way he treated the Democrats that day was just outrageous, telling Delia DeRiggi to sit down and shut up. I was there. I saw it firsthand. This is the type of leader we want. I don't want a leader like this. I want someone who's smart, like Mr. Schnablo, who is running for the office of supervisor.
Okay, thank you. The next person is Leslie Martin from Baldwin. Please give your name and address, please.
Good morning. My name is Leslie Martin from Baldwin. I think what we're all trying to say, or many of us are trying to say, is that this is all a pattern of corruption. I've read the town code. You know, I have a background in federal law, so I am accustomed to reading the law. And the law about appointing replacement is vague, perhaps intentionally vague. However, it was incorrect to appoint Ferretti without proper notice to the community. But this is all just a pattern of corruption, all right? And I'd like to point out to Deputy Supervisor Gooseby, which may be of interest to you, but I read the minutes from August 5th. I don't know how many of you did go back and read the minutes. I know at the last meeting, Ms. Gooseby, your lawyer spoke on your behalf and spoke about how you abstained from the vote to appoint Ferretti. And I was not here that day, but many people said, yes, in fact, you wanted it on the record that you abstained. But let's look at the official certified minutes of that day. The official certified minutes show that Ms. Gooseby voted aye to appoint him. So all her verbiage after that said, please let the record show that I abstained, is not in the official minutes. Why is that? It's a certified copy that's available to anybody. You can all pull it up on your phones right now. It's certified. And Ms. Gooseby, I encourage you to take a look, because why would they go back and whitewash it to make it appear that you were complicit in all this? To make it appear that you were voting to appoint John Ferretti? So I urge you to think about this and think about all your roles in the pattern of corruption in the town of Hempstead. Now, is John Ferretti really appropriate for this position? Since he was appointed inappropriately and illegally, I would say, he has been complicit in the provision of a no-show job to Don Cleven. And as I mentioned at the last meeting, this is a felony. And all of you on the town council are part of the conspiracy to put him in a no-show job valued at over $179,000 a year, a felony.
Your characterization of Don Claven's employment in the town of Hempstead is inaccurate.
Okay, so coincidentally, when the community, the press, were asking what his role was, his new job, the town of Hempstead declined to answer. And then the moment they answered, you gave a job that pretty much doesn't exist. And he knew it. Don Cleven knew it. And that's why he resigned and retired from the town of Hempstead within 24 hours of the announcement. If it was an appropriate job...
Excuse me, your time is up, Madam. You please take a seat. Thank you. Mr. Fred Brewington, attorney.
I'm going to greet the board first, so please don't start my 3 minutes until I say hello. Please. I'm not starting my speech yet. I bring you greetings this morning. Okay, so requests for courtesy don't matter. If you're wrong, step up and say you're wrong. If you did the wrong thing, step up and say I did the wrong thing. And I'm glad I've got everybody's attention up there, because I want to just tell you that when somebody talks about a lawsuit being frivolous, on August 8th, 1988, I filed a lawsuit on behalf of Dorothy Gooseby, and the same words came out of the mouths that were sitting up there, that it was a frivolous lawsuit. And yes, it had to be fought in order to make things right. When you do the wrong thing, you have to make sure that things are done right. And when you appointed someone on August 5th who was complicit in making sure that someone else got a no-show job, you then became part of that conspiracy. You became part of that corruption. Your vote to put that... No, you won't interrupt me, sir. No, I will not stand down. I will not stand down, and I will not allow you to interrupt me. And if you don't give me the courtesy to speak the way I want to speak, you don't control my
Mr. Brewington, you're just making a show. We've known each other for 30 years.
What you have done, sir, is an abomination, because you are not an elected official. Hey, you are not. You are the town attorney. And your job is not to answer for them. Your job is to advise them appropriately on the record with them. not interrupt me. So step down, and I want my 2 minutes back. No, I want my 2 minutes back. You just stole like people stole money.
No, your grandstand unit.
Please don't interrupt me, sir. I'll hear you out after my time is done. Now, you just took 2 minutes of my time. I'm asking as a courtesy to give me my 2 minutes back. Will you allow that?
Deputy Supervisor?
Yes.
Should we give him his 2 minutes? Give him his 2 minutes back.
Give him back. Put 236.
I just want to be clear.
We'll give you, Mr. Brewington.
Thank you so
It's-
much.
it's two-
And Madam, you have always been a wonderful colleague in government. I thank you for your courtesy.
But what, can we do the 3 minutes?
I'm going to do it in 2 minutes. Don't worry about it.
Let him complete his minutes, please.
This is not about friends. This is not about winning or losing. It's not about politics. It's not about whether or not you're a candidate or not. This is about what is right and what is wrong. When Mr. Ferretti took the helm and said that it was okay for Mr. Clavin to get that no-show job, he became complicit in a public fraud. And we need to recognize that and be clear. If we don't say that was wrong when there was a job that didn't really exist, because we haven't got anything on the record on that yet, we need to be able to speak to that and speak to that with clarity. Now, let me just be clear. You all knew that there was going to be an appointment to a no-show job. You knew that. You knew that it was going to be endorsed and approved by Mr. Ferretti, who was not appropriately appointed as a supervisor at the time. So, therefore, you are complicit if you voted yes in all of that. If you vote yes to appoint Mr. Ferretti at this time, you join in the abuse of authority and violation that he has engaged in and become complicit. 2 things, and then I'll sit down. First, these flyers that I get at my home with Mr. Ferretti being the supervisor is an abuse of the public dole. This is an appropriate use of public funds to campaign for someone who's not the supervisor. He is not. You did not operate properly with regard to the public officers law or the open meetings law. And lastly, we have written a letter to the Attorney General of the state of New York asking for a full investigation of the corruption in the town of Hempstead that is only identified through this action taken with regard to Mr. Clavin. But there may be more. Lastly, my wonderful sister and friend, Dorothy Gooseby, I ask you to not even vote on this situation and not be complicit in any aspect of this. Whether or not they respected you or didn't respect you, that's not the issue. But I ask you in this situation, don't abstain, don't vote yes, and don't vote no. Decide to be outside of this action, because when things come down, I want it to be very clear that you did not participate in the charade. Thank you so much.
Mr. Brewington, in response, at no point did Supervisor Clavin, we'll wait.
Listen, okay, please be quiet and let him speak and let him speak. So,
I don't have a mic.
Mr. Brewington,
I don't need a mic.
I don't need a mic either, Mr. Brewington. At no point did Supervisor Clavin, I take it back, Supervisor Ferretti, ever vote to give Don Clavin any job in the town of Hempstead, number one. Your characterization with regard to Don Clavin's employment is inaccurate, and you know it, Mr. Brewington, and you know it.
If I knew it, I would have said it. But I do know is that you can be wrong just like everybody else, and you are.
Here we go.
If he was not complicit in it, tell him to take the quotes back that are in the Newsday article, in the Post articles, as well as statements that he made to the public, that he said he endorsed it 100%. And he didn't.
Thank you, Mr. Brewington. Thank you. Your time is up, Mr. Brewington. Thank you.
Good job.
Time is up. You don't get a chance to make another speech.
If indeed he didn't want to dance and face the music, he shouldn't have come.
Okay. All right, that's it. Okay, the next person is Diane Madden. Diane Madden? Oh, okay. Please give your name, address.
Diane Madden, Hempstead. I read something that said, if you tell the truth, it becomes part of your past. If you tell a lie, it becomes your future. My question is, where's Don Clavin now? I understand he's jobless. Why isn't he being reappointed today? Can anyone answer that? Mr. Town Attorney? As far as the comments about the lawsuit, and I'll direct this to the person who made it. Lecturing anyone filing lawsuits when the town is so deep in debt that it has to raise taxes by 12% is disgraceful. You're not concerned about lawsuits. You deal with lawsuits, so many of them, that my understanding from the town attorneys, you had to bring on outside help and contracted attorneys to deal with all of the lawsuits that this town has received, including but not limited to the 3 alone at the animal shelter in the past few months. So to pretend that you're concerned about tax dollars and a lawsuit is outrageous, and it's an insult to the intelligence of the public. You guys are just so used to doing business with no one sitting in these seats, but everyone is paying attention now. And I disagreed with someone that made a statement to the town attorney the last town board meeting and said, you know, you're getting advice and you're just not taking it. I actually think you're getting some very good advice, but you ignore that advice. You bring the advisor in. We pay for the advisor. You ignore that advice. You go in closed door rooms and you make decisions like you're making today. Another mistake. Please don't blame the Democrats when they're all sitting up there. That was your personal invitation. What you're doing today, and by the way, I ask you to table the resolution. Even if, by some miracle, John Ferretti won this election, he's going to know that he never won it fairly, had to cheat to win. And if he doesn't win the election, we're expecting Joe Schnablo to surpass the Republican Party in numbers that have never been seen in Hempstead. But you know what John Ferretti will say? I wasn't even able to win, although I cheated. So you can't win if you cheat. And again, I ask you on behalf of taxpayers and certainly the animals to table this resolution, to think about what you're doing, and to not immediately, when you do lose this election, point the fingers at Democrats. You need to look in the mirror because you brought all of this on yourselves. Thank you.
Mr. James Hodge.
Mr. James Hodge, here from Long Beach, Deputy Supervisor and Counsel. As Mr. Brewington was saying, you lied, you cheated, and so many other things you heard already. Why are we back at this point if everything was good? Ms. Rod? If everything was good, why are we here? So somebody's not telling the truth. In the largest township in America, you find yourselves cheating again. But now you're trying to clear some things up. You're complicit in it, as Mr. Brewington said. And why, like I said before it was done, so that you can get on all of the mailers. John Ferretti mailers are going out probably 5 times already. Pounding. His name was already on the bandwagons on August 5th. Soon as we left here, National Night Out, his name was all over. I want everyone to understand that this is a form of cheating. You can say whatever you want about his history and how great he is. He brought his family here, and everyone saw on TV that he cheated. He listened to this attorney here, and all of you listen to this attorney here to tell you how to cheat. Yes, Deputy Supervisor didn't vote. If you go back to the voice record, you'll hear say she did not vote. So I don't know how she was recorded and voting. That's a lie. You filed a false record. She did not vote. Listen to it. Everything is recorded. She actually says, I did not vote. I can't vote. And so I say again, why did you do this? So Ferretti can cheat all of those in this election process because he can't compete with this veteran, combat veteran, former prosecutor, former police officer. You know, I've spoken so many times, so I'm just repeating what I've said before. Why did you guys allow this? To cheat in the largest township of America, to not have a fair election and allow both sides to go and see whoever wins on whichever side. But you put him in so he can go around as the town supervisor and get on all the mailers, the news, get in the news and do all of the speaking and the concerts. You did it to cheat. You're part of that. If you're good people and you go to church every Sunday, don't you listen to the word? Don't you read the word and you teach your children? What kind of sports did you play? Maybe you never even played sports. This is cheating, and you did it so he can have an upper hand in this election. And so again, I end off with saying John Ferretti should resign. If he started like this, he'll...
Okay, all right. Okay. All right, Noah Burrows. Noah Burrows.
Good morning, Noah Burrows, Hempstead. Just to correct, my name was spoken about the law that I have introduced. The law states it's to correct what's going on wrong here, and it is to ensure that there is a special election held in the event of a town supervisor stepping down before his election term is met. So, as Mr. Hodge has said, as Mr. Brewington has said, as Mr. Jacobs and many others have said, we're here because something is wrong, right? And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I walk around with a target on my back, just as many as you do up there as elected officials, because of this bad process that you're going through right now. I hate that I have to defend myself because of things like this. What you're doing, what you're planning on doing right now is unfair. It is not right. It is not anywhere what any person throughout the town of Hempstead would want to see. No one wants to see a person appointed who did not earn that position. I wouldn't feel comfortable having a position where I was given the position. Seeing John Ferretti's name all over mailers that come to my house, as it comes to many others, it's not right. It is complicity to breaking the law. It is why you have state officials like myself here. I shouldn't be here. Having Letitia James here, knowing what's going on is wrong. Having the governor know what's going on wrong here in the town of Hempstead. That's all big news because you're doing this so often and the community is tired of it. And this is why we're here. And this is to make sure that this does not happen again. So you have to stop doing this. If you want to win an election, simply do what we all have chosen to do. Run the process fairly. Run the process. If you think you can beat Joe Schnoblo, then beat him out there on the streets the way we all have to do when we run for election. And that's it. Thank you.
Assemblyman Burrows, let's be clear. Your bill intends to change the law as it currently exists, and the town board followed the state and town law as it currently exists. You want to change it, and that's why you proposed the bill. But to come here and say that state law...
Okay, Justin.
To give any indication that the town didn't follow the current law is inaccurate. Thank you.
Okay. Excuse me. All right, let's keep it quiet, please. Let's keep it quiet. Okay, I'm looking for the names. There's one person I'm looking for here. Let's see. Nora Burrs, I got her. Okay, Valerie Heffron. Please give your name and address.
Good morning, Town Board. Valerie Heffron, Greenville, South Carolina. And I say that proudly as I used to live in the town of Hempstead. I want to let you know something. This township and everything that has transpired here has eyeballs on it from all over the country. Shout out to Amanda Cassidy in Nebraska, Wendy Nassif in Florida, Tia Danielle, Jenna, North Carolina. Anyway, I want to say this. I hate what's going on here. I have a good relationship with many of you, people who work here. Councilman Muscarella, I enjoyed our conversation this morning. However, I do call balls and strikes. Here's the deal. The reason that Mr. Ferretti claims that he needed to take over the supervisor seat was he cited continuance of governance. I'm going to use the words of the deceased, although I didn't agree with him all the time, but I did agree with his ability to have open, respectful discourse with people. Mr. Kirk's words, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong on that. Mr. Ferretti abandoned his legislative seat in Nassau County, leaving 130,000 plus residents without representation. This town, just like their sister town, Oyster Bay, when the supervisor's seat was vacated, had many choices. You could have appointed someone from the board. If they didn't want that, you could have appointed Kate Murray, who ran this town for years. I'm quite confident she could do so for another 60 or 90 days. You could have appointed, according to your own town code, someone else who works here in the town from, let's say, the town attorney's office. My personal choice would be Mr. Richard Regina. To say that, well, everyone else does it too. The town of North Hempstead appoints people and the town of this appoints people. That to me is lame. I find it to be a pathetic excuse. I think that that's the same excuse that people in the old days used to keep their slaves. They used to say, well, my neighbors do it. They used to say, oh, well, everyone else does it. That doesn't make it right. So here's what I want to do. Let's flip the script. Everyone in the audience, I hope you're with me. You guys get paid from these people's wallets. They are your boss. I'd like to ask the public to join me. Let's make a motion to nominate Richard Regina from the Deputy Town Attorney's Office to take over the supervisor's seat. Do I have a second? All in favor, please applaud.
Okay, thank you. Your time is up. Okay, Joe Scalabello.
Integrity. Doing the right thing, even when nobody's looking, right? August 5th, we saw the town board get up, our elected officials go into a back room, back door, outside of our view, and have a meeting where the public wasn't involved in.
Integrity. Doing the right thing when nobody's looking. That day, they lacked all integrity. That day, they did the wrong thing when nobody was looking. And they did it in a back room, back door, because they know they were wrong. And look, it's a great day in the town of Hempstead to root out waste, fraud, and abuse. The town board's decision to revote Ferretti, the unelected supervisor, is an unmistakable admission to that they broke the law. I don't need a comment. Please don't. You broke the law. The fact that we're standing here today for a revote proves it. Ferretti and every council member who voted for this sham appointment must be held accountable. Talking about wasting taxpayer dollars. We got over a 12% tax increase. The unelected supervisor is going on a 25-tour apology tour for that 25%, 12% tax increase. He's trying to put out his own fires. He's getting his name out there, wasting taxpayer money. All the signs. Don't talk to me about wasted taxpayer money. Talk about how you're not going to break the law. That's what I want to hear. Talk about how you're going to represent the people, and not just political insiders. We're all here because we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. How can Ferretti and the town be trusted to run an entire town when they can't even run a meeting legally? Think about that. Think about it. We're here because you ran an illegal meeting, and since August 5th, anything that the unelected supervisor did is null and void. Contracts, money he spent, all of that is wasted taxpayer money. That's using the residents as an ATM machine. And it's not right. That I'm demanding all of that money between August 5th and everything that was spent, cars, clothing, signage, be reimbursed to people who actually pay your salaries. We work for them. We work for them, not for Mr. Ferretti. We don't work for him. You guys forget you work for the people. You should be ashamed. Look, I wrote a speech here. September 11th was just 6 days ago. And I remember what I did after September 11th.
Your time is up, sir. Your time is up. I've seen you so many times here, so your time is up. Okay, the next person is Darren. See, he doesn't know when to stop. Okay, Darren Ward. Darren Ward, are you here?
Deputy Supervisor.
Excuse me.
Mr. Sanablo, in response to your comments, the town followed the law on August 5th, and any actions taken here are as a result of a lawsuit that you filed, and to save the taxpayers from wasting any more money on your lawsuit.
Yeah. Okay. Ray Aurora? Ray Aurora.
I have to speak after who? I'm watching the news, and they say that we should tone down some of the rhetoric. So I think I should thank you all for your service, even though I think what you're doing today is terrible. Thank all of our public officials for their service. But, I think it's pretty clear why this is happening. You guys are just pawns, and we know that. I mean, I know that. You're taking orders from Post Avenue. And what ends up happening, if this continues, is that the previous supervisor ends up being our latest cross-endorsed judge, which is really what the prize is. So there's an end game. And unfortunately, we are victims, the ultimate victims, because we are the taxpayers. But you guys are too, because you're all irrelevant and you're all replaceable. Unless you demonstrate some integrity today and you vote for what's right. So I say that not as somebody who feels like a Democrat or as a Republican, just as an American. And any American looking at this understands what fairness is and understands what something stinks, and this stinks. It's not fair. As somebody said earlier, if Mr. Ferretti was such a great person, let him win in November. I mean, I feel like I know everything about the guy. What's his favorite color? Does he walk on the beach? Some of the speeches earlier. But I mean, if he's such a great guy, let him win in November. It's such a simple American concept. Do your part. Say no to once to Post Avenue. Maybe it'll inspire some of our other politicians to have some courage, for lack of a better word. So I implore you as an American to do your job as Americans, as elected officials, not as candidates, and do the right thing.
Attorney Steve Lester.
Good morning, members of the town board. Stephen Lester, legal counsel to the town board minority. A speaker came up earlier and said that the clerk's minutes did not reflect accurately Deputy Supervisor Goosby's vote, or lack of a vote, at the August 5 meeting. And to read directly from minutes online, on motion of Councilmember Muscarella, seconded by Councilmember Miller, and voted upon roll call, that the board appoint John R. Ferretti of Levittown to fill the vacancy in the office of the town supervisor, which was caused today by Don Clavin's resignation as supervisor and adopted. It then cites a resolution. The very last clause in the clerk's minutes on that act says, quote, Deputy Supervisor Goosby declined to vote, close quote. I just wanted to clear that up for everybody. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think that's it. As far as everybody else is concerned who wanted to speak, you've spoken already? Who has not spoken? Did you sign in, hon? You signed in? I don't see your name. What is your name, hon? Excuse me? I can't hear you. Come on, go ahead, hon.
Public presentation today, but I'm just going to speak very quickly and give you what God gave me. I'm going to pray first. Father, in Jesus' name, I hold this entire assembly up before you, that they would do that which they swore before you to do, to represent the people according to what's right. In Jesus Christ's name. Amen. Amen. Yep. That's where it started with God. I got to make my points quick. God wants us to reset. You were wrong, great. Admit it, move forward. Brothers and sisters, we're all resetting, not just them, but we are too. And the law came from God. We are equal. Why? Because we all have to die. If we didn't all die, we'd be a little bit different. Amen? Why am I talking like this? Because I'm a ordained minister. And I need everybody like yourself that knows how to pray. Start praying, because we're going to start talking to God. And what God does, including all the guards and everybody else and the reporters, he gives us the victory, because we're America. Amen? That's how we won the battle. God said in the 60s, when they were hating and they were killing and they were water hosing and doing everything that was evil, Martin Luther King and JFK stood up and said, we're going to take this thing to the hill. And they went to God and they gave everything they got. And you know what God did? I was born in 61. By the way, Miss Gooseby, my name is Deanna Folks, and I reside at 11 Cliff Avenue in Hempstead, New York. Don't come to my home. I'm going to go get some dogs. I'm going to get some cameras. You're going to be in trouble. Okay. So in the 60s, when they finished killing, by 70s, because I was born in 61, by the 70s, I was in the white home, the black homes, Spanish homes. Not too many Chinese people here, but anybody's home that went to school, that's where we were. When my friends were in their back rooms, and I think they were even Irish, the parents were there, I was laying on the floor looking at the news with them. Friends were nowhere around. Y'all got to be kidding me. In the 70s, 80s, and 90s, we slept with the doors and windows open. That's how much change when God came down was done. So do you want good? You went to school.
You know what 100 is. Or do you want 0? Because that's where they bring in the pot, to 0. And you can change it. We trust you to change the situation. I got 20 seconds. I'm going to move forward. I just want to let you know it's all in God's hands, but we got to talk to God for ourselves, ask him to come down and change it. It's done. I just want to say also what we have to deal with, we're not going to be another Mangano corruption scheme, okay? What we have to do is say we want a good society, we want to vote.
Your time is up. Your time is up. Your time is up, please. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. All right, I'm sorry, but your time is up. Okay, I don't have anybody else to, oh, that's it. Yeah. Okay. Are there any people that wish to speak and have not spoken?
Ask if there are any other speakers.
That's it, right? Okay. May I have a motion from the board?
Deputy Supervisor, a couple more speakers.
Oh, I don't have anyone on here. Who's here?
I did sign in earlier.
What is your name,
It
sir?
was Darian Ward.
What is it?
Darian Ward, like Darien, Connecticut, Darian Ward.
I don't see it.
I'm from
Go ahead.
Baldwin.
Go ahead.
I just want to make this very simple. This is about the public trust. The legal maneuverings and all that notwithstanding, it appears that the town board made an error, and instead of just admitting the error, they have piled on and made it much more worse than it had to be. It's okay to admit you made a mistake. It's okay to be in the district and to admit a mistake. You did not do that. So now we're paying for it. That's the reason why we're here. The lawsuit is to hold you accountable. And it appears it is working. The lawsuit is about holding you accountable. That's the only measure we have of holding you as public officials to account. Had you been transparent from the very beginning, we would have had to be here. But you chose a different route. And this is why the lawsuit in the public discord is appropriate. And I believe that particularly, Laura Ryder, you yourself, having spoken on this particular thing, calling it a frivolous lawsuit, it's not frivolous as Fred Brewington mentioned. It may sound frivolous now, but it's going to account and it's going to come out that we were right. And I think you owe your district an explanation as to why you're voting the way you're voting. And I have not heard why, rhyme or reason why you're voting the way you're voting in the first reiteration of this. And now we have a second bite at the apple. And again, I see the writing on the wall that you're going to continue to do the same thing you did in the prior, which is very unfortunate. I think the district deserves better. Thank you.
One more person? What is your
Yes,
name, ma'am?
this is not about the election. Is it all right if I speak now?
Well, that comes on the next one.
That
you
comes
wanna speak now?
after?
Go ahead. That's public comment now.
Well, it's just about the moment of silence for Charles Kirk. I am outraged. He was a white supremacist. He only spewed. I don't care what you say. It's here. It's here. His words are there. So you could sit here and act like you don't see it, act like you don't hear it. But for me to sit here and try, and I did not stand up for that moment of silence. He was a racist. And I just don't understand. Why did we do that? Can somebody explain to me? Why? Why for Charlie Clerk? Did you do it for the people in Minnesota who were gunned down in their house? You know, and this is the whole thing with this country. And I'm telling you from Trump on, he keeps trying to say it's the radical left. It's not. It's you're killing your own. The two people who were Republicans tried to kill him. This guy who shot him, he was a radical Republican. So it's you guys who are the violent ones. And I'm just angry that you took the time out here to acknowledge a racist. What is that saying about this county?
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay. All right, what's next? Okay, I don't have anyone else on this thing here to say. There's no one else here. Okay, may I have a motion?
Deputy Supervisor, I make a motion that the board adopt the item.
Second.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye. Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye. I am not voting.
Councilman Muscarella.
Yes, yes, yes.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Yes, aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
Okay, who's next? That's it? We have a quorum, so whomever you can take over.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the next public hearing.
Yes, on the public hearing, we have a proposed local law regarding regulations and restrictions to limit parking in Belmore, near East Atlantic Beach, Lido Beach, Point Lookout, Uniondale, and West Hempstead.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Does any board member wish to speak on this item? Anyone from any member of the public wish to speak on this item? Okay, there being none, may I have a motion?
I move the public hearing be closed and that the board consider the item.
Well, I'm second the motion.
Okay.
Second the motion?
Supervisor Ferretti.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk. I would just ask if the members of the public could please conduct themselves in a civil manner, it would be much appreciated. We'd ask that the proper decorum in the chamber be held, sir. Please let me finish. If you fail to adhere to that, I will place the meeting in recess. So please let the board do the business of the people, and please control yourselves. Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you please call the next item?
We have a proposed local law regarding parking or standing prohibitions in Baldwin, Belmore, Elmont, Franklin Square, Inwood, Merrick, Point Lookout, Rockville Center, Uniondale, near Valley Stream, near Westbury, and West Hempstead.
Okay, thank you. Does any board member wish to speak on the item? Okay, any members of the public wish to speak on the item? Okay, there being none, may I have a motion?
I move that the public hearing be closed and that the board consider the item.
Second.
Supervisor Ferretti.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you please call the next public hearing?
We have a proposed local law regarding arterial stops in Merrick, Oceanside, Point Lookout, Wantagh, and West Hempstead.
Okay, does any member of the board wish to speak on this item? Any member of the public wish to speak on this item? Okay, as there are no speakers on this item, can I have a motion?
I move that the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
I second that motion.
Supervisor Ferretti.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella. Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you please call the next public hearing?
We have a proposed local law regarding traffic regulations in the vicinity of schools in Baldwin.
Okay, does any member of the board wish to speak on this item? Any member of the public wish to speak on this item? Okay, there being none, can I have a motion?
I move what is it? I can't see. Oh, I move number 5.
Second.
Supervisor Ferretti.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call the next public hearing.
We have a proposed local law regarding U-turns prohibited in West Hempstead.
Okay, any board member wish to be heard on this item? Any member of the public wish to be heard on this item? Okay, there being none, can I have a motion?
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item. Second.
Supervisor Ferretti.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the next public hearing?
We have a proposed local law regarding bus stops in Lynbrook.
Okay, any member of the board wish to be heard on this item? Any member of the public wish to be heard on this item? Okay, there being none, can I have a motion?
I move that the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
I second that motion.
Supervisor Ferretti?
Aye.
Councilman Dunn?
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby?
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella? Councilwoman Ryder?
Aye.
Councilman Schneider?
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call the next public hearing.
We have a proposed handicap parking on public streets in East Atlantic Beach, at Elmont, Franklin Square, near Valley Stream, Uniondale, and West Hempstead.
Thank you. Any board member wish to be heard on this item? Any member of the public wish to be heard on this item? Okay, there being none, can I have a motion?
I move number 8.
Can I have a second?
I second it.
Supervisor Ferretti?
Aye.
Councilman Dunn?
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby?
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder?
Aye.
Councilman Schneider?
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call the next public hearing.
We have an application of Quick Lube of Carolina LLC, DBA Take 5, for a special exception pursuant to Section 196N of the Building Zone Ordinance to permit a public garage for a drive-in, drive-out oil change facility at the premises located in Wantagh.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Good afternoon. If you'd please present your application.
Good afternoon. My name is Garrett Gray of Weber Law Group. I represent Quick Lube of Carolina LLC, which does business as Take 5. Take 5 is the lessee of the subject property. Joining me today are Des Roberts, a member of Quick Lube of Carolina, as well as Joseph Colucci of DevCon Solutions, the project's engineering consultant. The subject property is located on the southeast corner of Sunrise Highway and Grove Street in the hamlet of Wantagh, with a mailing address of 3270 Sunrise Highway. It is also known as Section 57, Block 99, Lot 24, on the tax map for the County of Nassau. The lot is approximately 0.3592 acres with a frontage of 132.04 feet on Sunrise Highway. The lot is zoned Business X and is currently improved with a one-story, 3-bay, 1,855 square foot automobile repair facility. The site currently has 2 access points on Sunrise Highway and 2 access points on Grove Street. The property is bordered to the east by 2 properties, both of which are zoned Business X, also bordered to the south by another Business X zone property. The southeast corner of the property touches the northwest corner of a residentially zoned property, which factored into Take 5's decision regarding the location of its facility on the site. Take 5 plans to demolish the existing decrepit motor vehicle repair facility and construct a smaller one-story, 1,732 square foot building with 3 bays for customers to drive in and to and out of. Take 5 plans to relocate the building so that it is further away from the residential property to the south, in contrast to the location of the current motor vehicle repair facility, which is extremely close to the residential property. The new placement of the building will incorporate new site features such as parking, lighting, landscaping, and underground on-site drainage. In addition, the 2 closest access points, one on Sunrise Highway and one on Grove Street, will be removed, increasing the overall safety of the site. In addition, as Sunrise Highway is a New York State DOT roadway, application was made to the DOT for the proposed access point on Sunrise Highway, and we have received approval therefore. Petitioner's proposed project is in general conformance with the land use pattern in the surrounding area, which includes industrial, commercial, and business uses. Quick Lube of Carolina is a limited liability company that operates approximately 40 Take 5 oil change stores, wherein customers drive into the store and stay in their cars while being serviced for fluid changes, filters, and wiper replacement only. No other automobile work is available. Take 5's business model has become quite successful in several states across the United States, and this will be Take 5's first New York location, and it has chosen the town of Hempstead within which to do it. Indeed, Take 5's business model is much more environmentally friendly than a standard motor vehicle repair facility, such as the one that currently exists on the site. For example, this can be classified as a fluids-only facility. There are no other motor vehicle repairs conducted on the premises other than fluid changes, filters, and wiper replacement. No engine work, no brakes, no tires. Additionally, Take 5 only services passenger vehicles and vans. There'll be no trucks or fleets that are serviced on the site. As a result of this less intense use, there will be virtually no noise, noxious odors, or emissions emanating from the site. All new and used fluids are stored and maintained inside the building, as there are no underground tanks that will be installed. Any existing underground tanks have been removed or will be removed. We also provided this board with a sheet concerning how Take 5 handles its new and used fluids. The layout of the site, coupled with the construction of a smaller building than the building that presently exists, not only moves the building away from the southern property line to the maximum extent possible, but it also provides for additional landscaping that Take 5 will install and maintain by licensed landscapers. Take 5 will also fully renovate the parking lot, which will include new paving, curbing, on-site lighting, and drainage in accordance with town standards. Moreover, as Take 5 customers never leave their cars, as it is a drive-in, drive-out business model. Not at Take 5, customers never leave their cars. It's a drive-in, drive-out business model. While there is parking on site, it is for the 4 to 6 employees only. No customers are permitted inside the building, and there are no products for sale other than windshield wiper fluid and air filters, which a Take 5 employee would install. Based on other Take 5 locations, we anticipate a maximum of 6 to 8 cars in the queue at any one time, with an average service time of 12 minutes per vehicle. However, we are in the unlikely event it would ever occur, we are able to stack 15 cars in the queue provided, much more than will ever be utilized. Finally, deliveries to the site occur an average of 2 times per week, and a box truck is the largest vehicle that will make deliveries. There will be no tractor trailers bringing deliveries or entering or exiting the site. The facility has control over the delivery times, which will only be during normal business hours. There will be no off-hour deliveries. As I stated, both the applicant and our engineer are here to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you.
So let me ask you, I do see in front of us we have a landscaping plan.
Yes.
Okay, it looks very nice. You've added a lot of nice landscaping. I don't see a flagpole on there in the plan. Will there be a flagpole with an American flag in part of the property? Okay, would your client be amenable to that being one of the conditions?
We are.
Okay. And additionally, with regard to the landscaping plan, would your client be amenable to a condition being placed that a licensed insured landscaper would be hired on an annual basis from April 1st through October 31st to maintain the landscaping as it's in the landscaping plan?
Absolutely.
That'll be in the conditions?
It will.
Okay. Or any other board members have any questions?
Yes, Supervisor. Good morning, Mr. Gray. How are you?
Morning.
Just a couple questions for you. What are the hours and days of operations of this proposed facility?
I believe it is
Monday through Sunday from 7 to 9. I'm sorry, you said Monday to Sunday, 7 a.m. to?
7 days a week, 7 a.m. through 9 p.m.
Okay. You mentioned that it's only oil change work, no tire work, nothing like that, right? So there shouldn't be air guns or anything like that, noise emanating? No. Okay. Nope. On Grove Street, that's an egress only?
Yes.
Okay.
Right now, there are 2 curb cuts on Grove Street, both ingress and egress.
Okay.
We're closing one of them and making the other egress only.
How many cars do you estimate you'll serve a day?
I believe it was 35 on average.
Okay. And then with regard to the supervisor's request for with the landscaping, do you have an irrigation system?
Yes.
You do? Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Counselor, just for clarity, that landscaper that you would have on contract would be on a weekly basis, correct?
Yes.
And that'll be in the covenants and restrictions as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any other board members have any questions?
I have a question, please, Mr. Supervisor.
Sure, Counselor.
7 a.m. on that Sunday is a very early start. How many cars on average do you anticipate coming on, say, Sunday morning between 7 a.m. and 12 p.m.?
I don't have that exact number, but it is very light.
Well, based on the other shops?
That's probably our lightest hour, I would say, probably on average between 7 and call it 10, we would do 4 cars.
So does your research show that it's necessary to open up at 7 a.m.?
No.
Is it economically feasible?
In a lot of our stores on Sunday, we open at 8 a.m. So we could consider that if that's a concern for you.
Well, one of the side streets is a residential area, so it is a concern so early on a Sunday morning.
Yep, we'd be amenable to 8 a.m. opening on Sunday mornings.
On Sunday. Okay, we'd appreciate that. Thank you. And as
And
far
also
as
keep in mind that the noise generated is extremely low. All activity occurs in the building, and the only things being done are oil changes. So virtually no noise emanating from the site.
I can appreciate that. However, there will be cars driving around the area, so that does make noise. And thank you for agreeing to the weekly landscaper. And does that include replacing any type of tree or shrubbery that may die?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Council, there's currently a similar use there now, correct?
We'll actually have a bond with the landscaper to secure that anything that dies within a year would be replaced.
Great. There's currently a similar use there now, correct?
It's actually, I don't believe it's open, but it was a more intense use as it was a full-service automobile repair facility with the building directly against the southern property line of the residence.
And when did that stop operation with that business?
Oh, do you, wait, we have the property owner that, about 10 years ago.
Do we know the hours of operation of that business when it was in existence?
Similar hours.
Well, similar is a little vague. Do we know the hours?
7 days a week, morning to early evening.
Okay. Maybe you can get us those hours if possible. Any other board members have any questions or comment? Okay. We have one public comment that is signed in, Linda Zunk-Geffner.
Is it still morning? Just about. Good morning, Mr. Supervisor, Ms. Deputy Supervisor. My name is Linda Zunk-Geffner, and I've resided at the southern property, as they refer to it, that's residential for 24 years. The property in question has been a derelict for pretty much the whole time I've lived there. It hasn't been in operation for many years, possibly longer than 10, as it was sort of like a Midas. So it's been quiet. Now you propose a highly intense use. Mr. Town Attorney, did public notices go out on this item? Because I didn't get a mail.
Public notices did go out.
Well, I'm the most affected
If you speak to
property.
me after the meeting, we'll look into your situation.
Okay. The property's been a derelict. Its last use of the property was to sell political memorabilia and fly flags and cause a public nuisance. So is that type of uses going to be prohibited? Also, parking of vehicles in off hours going to be prohibited? Is landscaping, the irrigation that they promised, is that going to be a condition that they maintain irrigation on the property so that whatever landscaping they provide might grow and muffle the noise? And I agree with you, council member. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. 8 o'clock. Even 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning is pretty early. We already have the diner that's catty corner to us that affects our Saturday and Sunday mornings. Now you're going to add an intense use, and I don't think you've taken into account the diner traffic, because people park in front of my side yard when the diner is in operation, which is pretty much always. And this property, they haven't maintained landscaping, they haven't maintained the sidewalk. Is new sidewalk going to be poured? Because right now, it's like this. Those are my questions, and I question your notice, and if the notice is improper, you could expect an Article 78.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. That's the only person I have signed in for this item. Is anyone else wish to speak from the public on this item? Okay, Counselor, did you want to respond at all to?
Yeah, there we go. Just that all irrigation, landscaping will be maintained. There will be new sidewalks, curbs, etc. and this derelict site will be much more attractive.
Well, it certainly sounds like many of the concerns that we just heard are presented in the landscaping plan. You've indicated that you'll be replacing the sidewalks. It sounds like this site, which has been described as derelict, certainly will not be derelict for long. Do you agree, Counselor?
I certainly agree.
Okay, thank you. Any other members of the public wish to be heard? Okay, can I have a motion on the item, please?
Supervisor, I make a motion that we reserve decision at this time.
Second.
Okay, Madam Clerk?
Supervisor Ferretti?
Aye.
Councilman Dunn?
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby? Councilman Muscarella?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder?
Aye.
Councilman Schneider?
Aye.
Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the administrative calendar.
Yeah, so on the administrative calendar, we have items 10 through 38.
Okay, does any member of the board wish to speak on any items in the administrative calendar? Okay, I have no one that's signed in. Does any member of the public wish to speak on any items in the administrative calendar? Hi, good morning, sir.
Yes. Oh, it's noon.
If you could just give your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Chris Jacobs, Uniondale. On item number 20, I want to know the findings, since there was inspection of the Roosevelt Water Tower, so I want to know the findings and the time frame for the refurbishment of it.
Morning, Commissioner Reinhardt. Good afternoon, sorry.
Good afternoon, Supervisor Ferretti, Deputy Supervisor Gooseby, members of the town board. John Reinhardt, Commissioner, Department of Water. This is a resolution hiring a firm to do the inspection and design for the resurfacing of that tank.
Okay, so the inspection will be probably scheduled within like the next 6 months or something like that for that tank particularly, right?
Probably shorter than that, yes.
And just for clarification, I know it's kind of not pretty much on the answer, but that's the one there on right off the Meadowbrook near Lowe's, right?
Right by Lowe's, correct. on
Okay,
Dibley
so
Drive.
thank you. But that, just one sidebar question, that won't have any effect on like the one, I know the Turtle Hook one is first online to be replaced and stuff. That won't have any effect on that one, will it? The refurbishment of this one.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you said.
Okay, this one is scheduled for like inspection and refurbishment and stuff. Say, for example, you do that with other water towers, that won't affect other ones that are already planned for work, correct?
It's a totally different district than all the other tanks. Each one's in a separate district.
Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, good afternoon, sorry.
Yeah, Lynn Crew, Garden City. I have a question on item number 10. This is authorizing special assessment regarding open and abandoned one-family buildings. I see Garden City is listed. Can you give me the address?
Commissioner Leo.
Good morning, Supervisor, Deputy Supervisor, members of the board. The address in the Garden City is 34 Nassau Boulevard. That's a one-story commercial building.
What is that address, 30?
That address was 34 Nassau Boulevard, one-story commercial building.
I don't think that's in the incorporated village. I think
No, it
that's in
wouldn't be
Garden City South.
If we're doing it, it's in our jurisdiction. It wouldn't be in the incorporated village.
Okay, thank you. Should I continue? I have questions on a few other items.
Absolutely, if you have questions on any of the items in this.
One thing I've noticed, and I'm going to ask what the dollar amounts are. You leaving a lot of dollar amounts off these
Sure, ma'am. Do you have a
items.
question on a specific item?
Yeah, so number 15. How much is that contract costing us? It's a digital inkjet imaging system, and I'm sure you spent thousands of dollars because you produce all these color brochures and everything. So how much is that contract valued at?
Commissioner Marino?
Supervisor Gerald Marino, Commissioner General Services for the town of Hampstead. This inkjet printer is for a service contract for a period of 84 months at $1,000 and $92 per month.
Okay, that seems rather high to me. I have a brother inkjet printer, and it lasts for 3 years with printing, but you spent a lot of money on these flyers. Number 16, Gartner Incorporated Project Management. What projects are they managing?
Okay, Deputy Commissioner Longobardi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Supervisor, Deputy Supervisor, members of the Town Board. Dominic Longobardi, Deputy Town Controller. Gardner is actually a hired firm. The town had invested a number of years ago in an ERP system, an Oracle ERP system, to run our accounting and human resources programs as well as our purchasing programs. Gardner is a firm that we've hired to help us do that.
And what is the cost?
The cost for this year is $934,000.
And does it escalate because you're having this contract in place for, what, 2 years?
Yes, this is the second year of the contract, and there is a third year should we choose to exercise it.
Okay. Let's see, number 17. How much money are we spending on item number 17? That's the award contract for yearly requirements for irrigation supply throughout the town.
Again, that's a requirements contract. The amount is varies from department to department who uses that. The prices are based on a price schedule and market value based on catalog prices.
Okay, but what is the value of the contract you had to authorize? You know, it has a set amount of money.
We don't authorize a set amount of money. What happens is it's the amounts of money are budgeted. So we never know what we're going to need. Each department can use that contract. We have plenty of properties that have irrigation systems. So
I understand.
You never know.
Is there a cap on that contract, or is it just?
There is no cap on the contract. The contract, again, is a requirements contract.
Well, I would recommend you get caps on your contract, and anything going over the cap you look into to find out that these items are really being serviced properly. I used to do that when I worked at Con Ed. We always capped our contracts, and we had a rider. We would reauthorize the spend to keep control of our budget. That's how you manage a budget properly. Number 18. Again, you have an information and technology contract out there to supply indoor and outdoor cameras. What's the value of that contract?
Again, that contract is a requirements contract. There are various cameras available. There are various equipment available based, again, on the need of the departments.
Do you have a cap on that one?
No, we don't.
I would recommend you have a cap to monitor your budget better. And then I have, I think, one more question. Yeah, item 31. You have a resolution accepting monetary gifts from various.
Hold on, turn it back on.
Why am I being cut off?
Hold on, just hold on. Go ahead. No, finish.
Okay, I'm sorry. Number 31, accepting monetary gifts from various institutions for support of senior citizens programs for the town of Hempstead, Department of Senior Enrichment. Who exactly are we accepting gifts from?
Okay.
And how much are these gifts?
Okay. Good morning. Good afternoon. I keep saying good morning.
Good afternoon. Lisa Murphy. I'm the Commissioner of Senior Enrichment. And in the summer, we run a summer beach program down in Lido at the Sands. And we do ask people if they would like to help support our program, that then they can come and they can set up a table. And in this case, it was Lynbrook Restorative Health. It is basically a short-term facility in Lynbrook that is for rehabilitation. And they come in, and for a fee of approximately $2,500, they are there for the week, and they speak about what type of services they provide, as well as also we had a chiropractor who came down and spoke to the seniors about chiropractor medicine and what they also can do. It is open. We are always willing to have people who have services for our seniors come down, and their services help offset some of the programs that we run, particularly the entertainment portion in the afternoon at our Summer Beach program.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
And
That
that program's fantastic. Thank you to you and all your staff for doing an incredible job this year. Thank you, ma'am. Next up, please.
Pearl Jacobs, Uniondale. Item number 10, can you give me the addresses of those two residents in Uniondale, please?
Good afternoon. Dan Leo, Deputy Commissioner, Building Department. The two addresses that you're referring to are 899 Jerusalem Avenue and 666 Lowell Road in Uniondale.
666 what? What's the?
Lowell.
Lowell?
Lowell,
I got it, yeah.
Lowell Road.
Got it. Thank you. Items number 19 and 21. Items number 19, water treatment facility improvement. Does that include Uniondale, Roosevelt, or Lakeview?
Good afternoon again, Commissioner Reinhardt, Department of Water. Item 19 is authorizing myself to sign our contracts for applications to New York State Environmental Facilities Corp. For grants. The two grants we're applying for are for try to get some funds for the replacement water tower that you've been speaking about at many meetings, as well as water treatment at East Meadow Well 10.
So getting back to trying to obtain money, I do believe that the monies were allocated for this water tower already. Am I correct?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so
if we
can
can
you elaborate
offset the costs that the town absorbs in these things, we'd like to do so.
Okay, now that we're on that subject, so what is this length of time that we should expect some sort of movement on that water tower?
As I discussed with you at the last town board meeting, it is now with Nassau County Health Department waiting for their approval on the plans. Plans are all designed. We're just waiting for their approval to construct, and then we'll put the project out to bid.
Okay, so I would have to come here every time I come here. I would just have to ask you, what is the scope of this project? I mean, how long is it going to be? Or what position is it at now? Correct? Or would you be able to just email me that, Mr. Reinhardt, Commissioner?
We exchanged emails a couple of weeks ago about this, did we not?
Yeah, we did.
August
But
11th,
I'm
I
still
believe.
gonna, people are asking me, so I'm coming to you. So it's been, like a couple of weeks. So every time I come, I'm probably going to ask.
Right, you can email me anytime and I can answer the question for you.
Okay, thank you. And number 21, item 21. What is the scope of this project? The wells?
So 21 is for water treatment at wells 7, 11, and 12 in Roosevelt Field. That's also on Dibley Drive. This is authorizing a firm to obtain water treatment licenses for us for a type of treatment we're putting in there called cation exchange. It would be a permit that would allow us to dispose of the ionic exchange material once it is spent out. In order for us to get the approvals again from the county health department, we have to have these permits in place, and they're specialized permits. This is the firm that has the permits for the proprietary material that we're using, so they would obtain the disposal permits as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Leslie Martin from Baldwin. I just want to clarify comments that were made earlier in connection with resolution number 1. At that time,
Ma'am, I'm sorry. This is the administrative calendar, so if you have an item on the administrative calendar you'd like to speak on, we'd be happy to hear you. But this is on the administrative calendar. So what item would you like to speak on the administrative calendar?
just number 1.
Well, that's not on the administrative calendar, ma'am.
All right, I'll come back up.
Thank you. Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Valerie Heffron again. I have to tell you, just browsing through this calendar, I was wondering what percentage of contracts that are actually issued on any typical calendar, not just today, are also donors to your party?
So do you have an item you'd wish to speak on the administrative
Sure.
calendar? If you do, we'd be happy to call up the commissioner, but we need the item number.
All right, let's dance. Item number 30, with regards to the animal shelter, I'm actually glad to see that there is this replacement fire inspection, et cetera, through this central station alarms. My question is, and I foiled this many years ago, has there been put into place finally an in case of emergency or fire policy? Can anyone answer that? Maybe Commissioner Marino?
Commissioner, I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? Give me that one more time.
Is there finally a in case of emergency or fire policy? Please stop my clock. I already asked that question.
Commissioner Marino?
Again, Commissioner Marino, Department of General Services. We're complying with all state laws as far as fire alarm systems.
Well, you must remember when I foiled this because you were directly involved. This was in 2018. You had an employee come in 2017 by the name of Nancy Garris. She's still at the shelter. And she voiced her concerns with potentially harmful people who the staff felt threatened by. Also, there was a gun incident across the street at the school. So I foiled as to whether or not, I foiled several years later, if you ever had a fire policy installed or in case of emergency policy. And it ended up having to become an Article 78, which we won, and the answer was no. So I'm asking you, do you have one finally now?
We're complying with all state laws. I'm not quite sure what you're asking for.
Next, number 32, please. What on earth is this? Authorizing the transfer and modification of various funds in the 2025 budget. What does that mean?
Mr. Town Attorney?
It means that from time to time, people are transferred, people get raises, people retire. So the town is required to keep fund balances based on its budget. So if 5 people were to get promoted in the at the animal shelter or at sanitation, those raises would be reflected there. If the town hires people, from time to time people retire. In fact, there's been an incentive plan over the last 2 years where a number of people have retired. When they're replaced, depending upon when they're replaced, those funds balances are changed. It's a standard accounting practice used by all municipalities.
What's not standard is that just as recently as a year ago, these hires, promotions, transfers, retirements were fully transparent. And you used to list the names in advance of the meetings so that the public could see where their money was going. This is opaque. This is the opposite of transparency. And Mr. Ferretti, I would advise you, I would urge you to put that back. People don't want to see their elected officials and the way that their government is run to go backwards. Regression is not progression. So I would suggest that you become transparent, at least in that aspect, once again.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Diane Madden Hempstead. Item number 30, again.
Sure, Commissioner Marino.
So this time, Mr. Marino, can you specify if the employees at the animal shelter have a plan and practice in case there is a fire?
I don't know what that plan will, we follow all state laws, so I don't know what you're actually driving at.
That would have
This
to
is the
do with
fire alarm
safety.
system.
This would have to do with employee safety. And this certainly should be a red flag to the union who constantly claims to care so deeply about the animal shelter employees. And of course, the acting director. But you especially,
this
Mr.
item is an
Marino.
item to replace the fire alarm system at the animal shelter. I would assume that's something you're in favor of. If you have a question on the plan to replace the fire alarm at the animal shelter, please ask it.
My question is, what caused this sudden replacement? Was there nothing that existed?
No, it's actually an emergency repair. We had 2 false positives that the alarm went off, and a company came in and made a proposal that they could, by changing the main guts or whatever you would call it, that we'd be able to fix the alarm system without having to put a brand new one in.
Does this have anything connected to temperatures in, for instance, the trailer where employees have claimed animals have died in the trailer and they have found near death in the trailer because the air conditioning went off and there are insufficient employees there to be able to check them in a timely manner? Is this something, is there an alarm in there that will go off if this happens again?
Fire alarm system for the building, and every area has an alarm that would go off for smoke.
What about the trailers where the TNR animals are kept, the
There's
sick
smoke
animals?
alarms in the trailers.
There are smoke alarms in the trailer. What about temperature alarms?
I'm not sure on every one. I'd have to look.
Okay, because again, This is being put on the backs of employees that are walking into a trailer and trying to revive animals because the system went down and there are insufficient employees. And make no mistake, they can speak for themselves. The animals can't. So I urge you to look into that, Mr. Marino. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Madden. Is there anybody else that would like to speak on any item in the administrative calendar? Okay, there being none. May I have a motion on the administrative calendar?
Second.
Supervisor Ferretti.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby. Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
May I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Supervisor Ferretti.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby. Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Councilman Schneider.
Aye.
Thank you. Now that the formal town board meeting has ended, the town board will remain to listen to the comments of residents. I have a list here. The first speaker is Chris Howard.
You left. Oh, maybe not.
Okay, Chris Howard. Okay, Daniel Eban Oppenheim.
Who's gone too?
Thank you. Okay, Pearl Jacobs.
Pearl Jacobs, Uniondale. Okay, here we go. May 16th, the Hempstead Town Clerk Kate Murray's post. A quality of life task force was hard at work in Levittown today, and I stopped by to thank them for their efforts. The quality of life task force is comprised of CSEA local 880 workers from the highway and sanitation departments who are equipped with necessary tools needed to remove eyesore advertisements and graffiti, responding to the complaints of residents regarding an outbreak of illegal signage and on utility poles. The Quality of Life Task Force proactively removes the signage while also completing special projects such as sweeping, cleaning, repairing, repainting, trimming, overgrowth, and improving areas throughout the town of Hempstead that have decayed over time. I have a more recent post here, John Ferretti's, for Supervisor's posts. It was great to be in Garden City South for the town of Hempstead's Quality of Life Task Force Community Cleanup held in conjunction with the Community League of Garden City South. Hardworking CSEA Local 880 employees were assisted by community volunteers as they worked to beautify the Nassau Boulevard Business District. Stay tuned for the task force future visits to a neighborhood near you. So I have a question. Does the Quality of Life Task Force support every community in the town of Hempstead or just certain zip codes? Because in the past, I have previously made several requests for the Quality of Life Task Force to assist in Uniondale. And I have the emails to prove that. So do they come to every zip code in the town of Hempstead or just selected ones? Crickets? Well, I guess that would be a no. They don't come to every zip code. There we go. Town of Hempstead, Alabama.
Ma'am, are your comments complete?
Well, I asked the question and you didn't answer my question.
Please
That's
continue. You have
disrespect. Who's
44
gonna answer my
seconds.
question? Nobody's answering my question? That's a simple question. Do they come to every town or community within the town of Hempstead? How do I contact them? I send emails to, well, I asked that before, Chris, please. I'm just asking a question. Do they come to every zip code? And I'm taking it as a no. Because in the past, I have sent many emails asking for assistance in Uniondale, a collaboration, and I have not received any response. Thanks for nothing.
Okay, so I want to thank our Quality of Life Task Force that do an incredible job throughout the town of Hempstead. In particular, I joined them in Lakeview at the Peace Garden with Councilwoman Ryder not too long ago when we cleaned up the Peace Garden in Lakeview. So again, I want to thank our Quality of Life Task Force for doing an incredible job throughout the entire town of Hempstead in keeping our parks, our roads clean and free of debris. So thank them. The next speaker we have is Lynn Krug. Okay. Next up, we have Donna Gilreath.
Good afternoon. My name is Donna Gilreath, and this is my husband, Charles Gilreath. And we're here to address an issue we're having on a property that's next door to our home. We live in Roosevelt, and the property is on Valdor Court. And before I proceed further, I do want to thank Deputy Supervisor Guzman, although she stepped away, for the assistance that she has given us thus far. We are the original owners of our home. We've been there 30 years, so we know the history. We bought a home on Valdor Court, and it was a new development. The properties was being built by Valdor Construction. At the end of building the 24 houses, they also were designated to build an easement. Once the easements were done, and all of the homes were built, they were supposed to dedicate the easement to the town of Hempstead. After the project was done, Valdor Construction got their monies and they left. The property was never officially dedicated to the town of Hempstead. As a result, we're in limbo when it's time to get work and maintenance done. In the past, there was a third-party contractor that would come and mow the lawn. Since that time, maybe about 5 years ago, new administration came in and there were changes made in the town and no one came to maintain it. It is now overgrown. We have rodents in that property, and whenever we call to get assistance, except for Deputy Goolsby's office, we get the runaround. So what we're seeking here today is to get someone to take ownership of the property and to get consistent maintenance on the property. We're asking for your direction, who should take care of it, and some paperwork and some type of deed or something so that we can fight and have a better quality of life. We pay a lot of taxes and we deserve to live next to something that's nice and is not an eyesore. And Deputy Goolsby, you had stepped away. I just want to thank you and your office for what you have done to try to help us rectify the situation. However, it has not been resolved. This entire summer, we have a lot next to us that has never been mowed. We also have the Tree of Heaven trees in there, so now we have problems with the lanternflies, and we would like a direction and a resolution from our town. No, nothing was done this summer. When we called the town says it's the county's job. When we called the county said it's the town job. The tree was cut down because you made a phone call.
Okay.
But-
Mr. Supervisor?
Ms. Gilreath, we have Commissioner Leo in the back. What I'd ask is that Commissioner Leo please sit with you, go over the address, and the Commissioner please get me all the information today, and we will look into it and get you an answer.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Did you want to say anything else?
No,
Okay.
she's fine.
Okay.
I know now what she wants, so I can send him over there because he's great.
Okay. Next up, Stephanie Chase. Okay, thank you. Next up, Diane Madden.
Diane Madden, just one quick comment about your appointment, Mr. Ferretti. This was basically a confession of the town board. Make no mistake, you wouldn't have gotten reappointed had you done it legally. Number two, there was a major Long Island newspaper who posted a very insensitive cartoon this week, and they immediately retracted it and they apologized. And a lot of people criticized and said it's too late. No, it's not too late. It's never too late to do the right thing. It seems to be too late for all of you, which is why I just thank God that there are lawsuits, because they will shed light on what's happening here. We really can't count on, and we've lost trust in people who claim things are legal when they are illegal, or they bend the law. As far as the animal shelter, the plagued animal shelter, there was another bite at the animal shelter. And I want to say that first I was assigned to work with Clavin's liaison, who thankfully is gone. Secondly, they put a deputy commissioner. He didn't last because you know what? Some of these guys actually have a conscience. He didn't last. They reassigned another deputy commissioner. He didn't last. Then they brought in another deputy commissioner. And right under my nose, when I expressed the importance of bringing in an outside, independent, reputable, unbiased trainer, they made a path to bring in, whether it's a friend, relative, cousin, uncle, brother, whatever it was, you know what it is? A donor. And since then, you've had severe bites, maulings, almost 2 deaths if people weren't around. The acting director herself went into a pen with no one around. And yet, there seems to be no accountability. Another 2 volunteers, although I have to say you don't really seem to care whether it's staff or volunteers, went into a pen, violated policy, and one of them was almost killed. And now there's still more bites. And a high-ranking official came up to me recently and said, we need a behaviorist. Can you recommend anyone? Well, I've made a few phone calls, and guess what? No one wants to work in a shelter where there are bullied out, favoritism, and bad leadership. So you may want to think about that. And by the
Thank you,
way,
Ms. Madden.
please,
Thank you.
it's time for a debate.
Thank you. Ms.
I hope
Valerie
Commissioner
Heffron is
will be
next.
hearing from you soon. Debate, Mr. Ferretti.
Good afternoon again. Okay. I'm here to actually ask Mr. Ferretti, this is something I never thought I would witness, especially from your side of the aisle. I find it really disconcerting, disheartening, and disrespectful to see your mailers and hear your allegations against a military combat veteran, retired police officer, back the blue, right? Unless I guess they don't think like you. It's upsetting. I have a great regard and high respect for anyone who has laid their life down on the line for us to be able to use our freedom of speech, including yours, which I guess that does include slanderous allegations. He has not a single accusation or official formal allegation for anything against him. I don't know how you feel good about that. I don't know how you do that. Honestly, I did think I knew you better than this. That said, animal abusers are losers. That's the phrase that you like to say. I agree with that wholeheartedly. This is not the case with Joe Schnablo. However, I'd like to ask you regarding your animal abuse registry, if you really care about it, why is the name Timothy Uri, an employee of the town of Hempstead, not on your registry? This town of Hempstead employee pled guilty to being a part of the largest dogfighting ring bust several years ago. He is still employed currently, according to our foiled spreadsheet of employees. He's taking $82,000 plus a year after pleading guilty to animal cruelty, neglect, overdriving, torture, animals found in his house in deplorable conditions. And he's not the only name that's omitted. I foiled the Nassau County District Attorney's Office records. There are 63 names on there. There's only 16 on your registry. I'd like to ask for your slanderous, really low blows to stop. Fight an honest fight. Show up at the debate. Please run an honorable and clean, fact-based campaign. The military veteran deserves at least that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Heffron. I'm not going to get into a back and forth political debate here in a government building, but let me just comment on the legislation that you brought up with regard to the Animal Abuse Registry, because you indicated that it was somehow my registry or that the legislation was created by my bill. It was not, just so you're aware. That database existed prior to the bill and still exists. It is not one that I created. What my bill did was it extended the amount of time for which someone can not own or possess a pet that is on that registry. So I would ask that you please stop spreading misinformation with regard to my bill. The bill, excuse me, your time is up. It's now my time.
That's not.
So just so we're clear, my bill had nothing to do with creating that registry, nor do I have any control with who is on that registry. What my bill did was protect animals from animal abusers that are on the list. Just so we're clear. Thank you so much. Next up is James Hodge.
Again, we're here, and I get a chance to address you, Supervisor, Deputy Supervising Board. What you've done, John Ferretti, you should know it was part of cheating. You know, I want you to understand what you did was part of cheating. No matter how November goes, Supervisor Ferretti, you got in this position to be able to do what you're doing, going all around town, being over all of the staff. I was a union member for over 20 years, CSCA. I was a union executive, did a lot of different things. Been honored by both parties, some even in this place here, in this town hall. Been honored by Kate Murray, been honored by our deputy supervisor and many others for all of the work of just speaking up and speaking out against individuals that do things like yourself. And this council, you again agreed on this, and it was wrong. Let me take a moment of silence. So as you took a moment of silence earlier, I take a moment of silence now. And I take a moment of silence because I think about gun violence. Think about all of the individuals that die each and every day. I don't know if you took a moment of silence when the kid that was killed right down the street here. I don't know how many other moments of silence you probably took, Supervisor, but when we talk about moments of silence, we should not just take it for one. We should not just take it for someone we like, but we got to understand the pain that goes through the families. We got to understand what that does. And if you care so much to take a moment of silence, what is your policies doing? I can say that I've started programs. I can say that I helped get over 600 guns off the street. I can say that I'm a survivor because I stand here with my own nephew on a shirt, shot with several bullets. His mother and myself had to sit in court and watch the video. So when you say let's take a moment of silence, I say let's take a moment of silence and put in policies and procedures that would help. Let's work with organizations like Mom Demands Action and do real work, not just coming after situation and say, let's pray. Prayer is always good. But let's be about real work and
Thank
do
you
the
so
real
much.
work.
Thank you, Mr. Hodge. I apologize. Did I call Stephanie Chase? Yes, you did. Okay, did you want to speak? Okay. Okay. Next up, we have Deanna Folks. Ms. Folks? Okay. Marcia Dittieri. Ms. Dittieri? Okay, next up, Joseph Shinablo. Mr. Shinablo? Okay. Does anybody else wish to speak on public comment?
I'm getting out of here.
What's the date?
You come after me. Yeah. Thank you.
Mr. Jacobs, how are you?
Yes. Good afternoon. My comment is I actually want to talk about the Department of Planning and Economic Development. After years of advocacy for the refurbishment of Front Street, State Road 102, about a month ago, give or take a month ago, I finally saw work finally being done on Front Street. So I just wanted to ask the Department of Planning and Economic Development. I noticed they're doing the north side of the street. I want to know the scoping and the plan, the completion of the job, and how fast would they be doing the southern side of the street? So if I can meet one of the commissioners.
Mr. Jacobs, we'd be happy to answer any questions you have after the meeting. You could submit an email, of course, but this is public comment, so please. Yeah.
That's all. There was nothing on the agenda. So
Oh, okay.
One of the commissioners when I have a chance.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have a question? I don't know.
Leslie Martin Baldwin. This probably isn't really appropriate for public comment. It really was more appropriate for earlier in the session. I just want to clarify more specifically my comments earlier about the minutes from the meeting of August 5th. I have consulted with Mr. Lester because one thing I really take pride in is my review of legal documents. And when you have a court reporter who's documenting every word that's said here in a document that's actually entitled verbatim, it should be an accurate representation of what actually happens at a meeting. So I'd like to refer everybody to specifically the minutes. Mr. Lester was looking at a different document in the town of Hempstead. If he wants to put that on the record, I'm not sure the name of that document. But if you look at the minutes from August 5th, page 37, line 24 is where it begins. I move that this board appoint John Ferretti to fill the vacancy of office of the town supervisor caused today by Don Claven's resignation. And after that, it's seconded by Councilman Miller, and everyone is roll called. Everyone, including Dorothy Gooseby. And according to the certified minutes, it says Dorothy Gooseby said aye. But anybody who was here that day and anybody that has seen the video circulating knows that's not true. Everyone knows it's true that she did not say aye. In fact, in my conversation with Mr. Lester, he said there was actually conversation after this, but there's no conversation after this where Dorothy tries to correct the record. It just leaves it stand that she is voting for the appointment of John Ferretti. And I'd like to know why the minutes, I mean, I've known many a court reporter in my time, and it is a job I would never want. But they write down literally every single word that is said. And so why would it inaccurately portray Dorothy Gooseby saying aye when she clearly did not then and did not today approve the appointment of John Ferretti? Anybody have any comments as far as why it was changed in the minutes? Nobody can say why the minutes redacted any information about this, potentially exposing Dorothy Gooseby to liability, which clearly she does not have.
Let me tell you one thing. You know, I have other areas that I go to, and I am a member of the Association of Towns. And I went up to Association of Towns up in Buffalo almost. And when I got there, the members that were there said, "We watch you. We saw you on television and what you did." So they've seen it. And I did not say yes. I said no. And I'm telling you no now. And I have a wonderful attorney who will tell you no, no, no. So don't come up with stuff that's not funny. That's not right. I would appreciate that. Thank you.
No, I'm not coming up. I'm helping you, actually.
Oh, you are?
Lester will say, because Mr.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry.
So, ma'am,
Then
Ma'am.
I still have time left, and you're eating into my time, okay? The minutes, if you look at the minutes, and your attorney will show you, because I consulted with him, it says, Dorothy Gooseby said I, and there is no language after that that says, no, I did not say I. We all know, you know, that you did not say I.
Thank you, ma'am.
All know that you did not vote on it.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak during public comment?
Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Well, have a good day. Thank you. Ma'am, I already called you. Go ahead.
Don't play games with someone who spent 45 years in auditing, okay? Question for you, Mr. Ferretti. Would you please talk to the Republican State Committee about these brochures or mailers that are going out? They're all lies. First of all, are you talking about your supervisor role or your role when you were on the legislature? Because it says you slashed Nassau's taxes by 70 million, and then you cut town taxes for 2026. Was there a budget hearing that I wasn't present for the 2026 budget? Don't you have to have an open meeting on that to discuss the budget? And you never voted for a tax increase. Well, I find that interesting. I shared my tax bill. Okay, when you were a legislature, my taxes went up. And then you really weren't here when Town of Hempstead decided that they were going to raise taxes by 12%. I mean, that's fair to ask. So this is kind of like lying. Also, Joe Schnablo maintained a Facebook post celebrating animal porn. That was already discounted, and it was reported in Newsday by Ted Phillips. You know his brother pulled a prank on him. He had just come back from overseas, I believe Iraq or Afghanistan, and his brother grabbed his iPhone or computer and wrote something. It was discounted. They were interviewed, the family interviewed. It was dropped. I think you do this because you really don't have anything to find about Joe Schnablo. He's the real deal. I don't support people who are liars. You know, when you were growing up, didn't your mom ever teach you? Don't put your hand in the cookie jar. And, you know, you come from a long line of, politicians. Mondello. Your mom is even on the payroll here. That's like going into the cookie jar. And then I asked a question about Devin Foss. She was, Devin Foss, she was that congressman's mistress. And I asked, was she on the payroll? Clavin said, oh no, we don't have anyone like that. And then when the roll was published, I saw her name. So stop lying to people. Tell the truth. Please don't lie, and please get in touch with these people. You stopped Hogel's urban housing apartment plan for Long Island? I don't think so. That plan went down the drain. Everyone was against it. And then you're cutting town taxes again. I didn't hear the budget. And then Schnablo opposes tax cuts even for seniors. He's not an elected official, so he has nothing to do with these tax cuts. And cashless bail law, he was a district attorney doing his job. Okay? Case closed.
Thank you, Ms. Krug. Just a
Don't
couple
lie.
comments. Number one, if my mother's on the town payroll, that's news to me and her. She is not, so wrong. Number two, when you talk about the cut, oh, so you were wrong. Okay. So if you talk about cutting taxes in my record in the county, because you are an accountant apparently, the way that works is you have a county tax levy, the total amount of money collected by the county. When I was a legislator, from the day I took office until the day I left office, the county tax levy was decreased 70 million. Perhaps your taxes went up. I don't know. That could be based on, I'm not finished. That could be because, ma'am, I listened to you. I hope you can listen to me. I'm going to try to tell you why your taxes may have gone up. That could be assessment related. Okay? It has nothing to do with the fact that when I was a county legislator for 7.5 years, I cut taxes $70 million. And when you refer to the town of Hempstead, you're absolutely right. We're going to be cutting taxes. It doesn't say I cut taxes like you said. It says cutting taxes for 2026. And you'll see pretty soon that's exactly what we're doing. Thank you very much for all coming. We'll see you at the next meeting.